Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you wanted to join me today because today we are going to talk about my top 10 thrifted finds. The things that I have found in the thrift shop that I either use the most or love the most. I'm going to show you how I style these items and how I generally try to be as conscious and as sustainable with my fashion choices as possible. So let's do that. But this video has a sponsor. Girl. This video is sponsored by Luisa. It is a sustainable and ethical jewelry company that I have recently gotten to know and that I am already obsessed with. They make jewelry, the ones that I'm wearing right now, can you believe? So Luisa only uses recycled gold and silver because these products are usually actually materials that you would mine. It takes over 20 tons of gold mining to find enough materials for one single ring. So there's definitely a lot to you. I've talked about mining so many times on this channel, both in the glass video and in the aluminium video. I am just so happy that there are companies out there that are trying to do their best to try and counter this entire industry, which is what Luisa is doing, and I think that's super, super amazing. Another cool thing about Luisa is that they don't have the same insane markup on their jewelry as a lot of other jewelry companies have. You pay for ethical and sustainable production, but you don't overpay simply just to line some CEO's pocket. I got to pick out 4 different pieces of jewelry that I would want to use in my everyday life, and I found something that works really well together with all the stuff that I already have. But I also tried to mix gold and silver together because usually I'm a all silver all the way kind of girl, but I really wanted to try and see if I could make this other thing work as well. And actually I really like, I always wanted one of these, and actually my mum saw it today and she was like, I've always wanted one of those. Where did you get it? And I told her I had a discount code for Luisa, so plugging my sponsors to my mom, am I right? So that is the deal with Luisa. I'm so glad they're sponsoring this video. Thank you so much for that. Now I'm going to show you my thrifted things and I'm going to style them with the Luisa jewelry. What up? The first thing, some of these are classics that you have seen. If you have watched another of my videos, you have probably seen a lot of these items already, but I want to talk a little bit about them as well. So that is what we are doing. The first thing is my fedora. I bought this fedora 8 or 7 years ago, I think. It is one of the only hats that I have that actually fit my head right. The other ones are usually a little bit too big, a little bit too small, but this is amazing. I have always wanted one, and the ones that I used to buy in fast fashion way back 10 years ago were always really wobbly and soft and weird, and they never looked quite right. I found this in a secondhand shop by coincidence and I love it. I love it to bits. It's also rather old. It's not a newly bought discarded item. It is like an OG hat. This is something that I wear with basically everything I own. A good black hat is something that you can always use, and I think I'm gonna keep it on. The next thing that I have found that I really love is actually not a very old thing. It's a newer thing, but it is a secondhand shop thing. It is this scarf. I have really gotten into vintage scarves lately, and this one is my absolute favorite because I've also really gotten into the brown, beige, burnt colors, like the muted tones. Like actually the way that I would usually style this would be like either like that and then like a coat or like a little cardigan. I think that this is cute, or I wrap it around a bag and I use it like that. But using a scarf is great for a girl like me who usually just wears blacks and browns and grays, because it adds a pop of color. You can also add a little bit of texture or pattern to your outfits, and I actually really like that. It also gives it a really easy to achieve retro look. Let's do the accessories first. I feel like we're already kind of doing that, so let's just keep doing it. Then this thing I found in a thrift shop in Copenhagen last summer. This is a belt. It is, I do definitely think this is a DIY kind of thing that somebody donated. It has this red strap, and Jens actually offered to make a new strap that's black, but I like the pop of color, and you can wear it with a red lipstick or something. It's going to look really nice with this pop of color. But I wear this with high-waisted jeans or with high-waisted skirts. So I'm so happy that I have that. Yes. And I paid £1 maybe for it. I don't even think I found it in the secondhand accessories section. I think I found it in like utensils. Let's continue. We have a bag. I don't have a fancy bag. I don't really have a fancy bag, at least not anymore, because the fancy bag that I had is almost dead. There is so many. Let me just see if I can show you. Oh yeah, we have breakage here, we have breakage here, but I have this bag and I cannot for the life of me discard it. I love it to bits. I'm going to wear it until it falls apart. This is a second-hand bag that I found randomly at a flea market 4 or 5 years ago or something, and I love this to bits. It has some white pearls and then some golden like some golden stitching, and it works perfectly together if I want to use both silvers and golds in my outfit, because this has both the whites and the golden tone. So I really like this bag, but it's just a tiny going out bag, and I love it. Usually I wear either canvas bags or my big shopper or something, and it's just nice to have something that's a little bit more elegant, that elevates your outfit a little bit. I don't know how well that is achieved now that it is falling apart, but I still love it, and I want to repair it and keep using it because it's amazing. Oh, and on the back, it's velvet. The next thing is another bag as... Okay. The next thing is another bag as well. It is a fairly new purchase. I think I showed this in my last thrift haul, but I have been wearing it non-stop. It is this white weaved bag. I don't know where it's from. I don't know where any of these things are from, by the way, like brand related. A lot of this is very old and the brands are either non-existent anymore, there are no tags in it. But if there is a brand, I don't even know if I wanted to say, because it doesn't really matter. You go to your thrift shop and you find what you can, and you see how you like it, and you see how you make it work for you. It's not really about the brands, I feel like, in particular, but if you are really into like one specific thing a brand made, you can go to like online secondhand shops and websites and search for it, see if you can find it used. So obviously that's also an option. But yeah, this bag is my baby. I love it because, as I said, I usually wear my big shopper everywhere, and I love it when I'm out grocery shopping, but just for normal errands and whatnot, this is perfect. And I think I mentioned it in my other thrift haul as well, is that it gives... I'm just tangled in it, cool. It gives my outfits a pop of lightness and color, and I'm really trying to get away from wearing all black, because I have had a period of time where I have just been wearing black leggings and a jumper, no jewelry, no accessories, no nothing. And it's really comfy and everything, and there are days where that's completely fine. But for me, it becomes a habit of mine to do that, and it feels lazy, and I don't feel good about myself when I do it. So I like putting in a little extra effort, making myself look a little bit more like I want myself to look when I think of how I look. And just light accessories and things that just add some texture, some colors and patterns really works out and makes me feel so much better about my outfit when I walk outside my house. This coat I found in a thrift shop 9 years ago in the town I grew up in, and it's actually local to Aalborg. It's made from an old tailor in the 60s, and when I showed my grandmother this coat, she knew exactly which tailor made it, which is really fun. It was actually one of the tailors that knew my granddad really well when he was alive. So this has become almost like a link to my grandfather, because he knew the guy who made this coat. I think that's so funny. If you are interested in what that is, it's called P. Aalborg, which was apparently an old tailor in Aalborg that made especially menswear. And maybe this is menswear. I love this houndstooth print. This is one of the things that I've had for the longest time that's not black, but it is blue and brown, and it's a combo for houndstooth that I haven't seen all that a lot, but it's both textured, it has patterns and it has colors, and I love it. It's so originally 60s. It has that perfect retro vibe that you cannot buy with fast fashion, because it lived the 60s. Maybe you have been guessing throughout this video what kind of clothing items would appear, because you have seen me in the same stuff a lot. So if you do watch my channel, you will know that this jumper or this hoodie that is cropped, that I cropped myself, is of course in this video. It is a Thrasher hoodie that I found in a thrift shop for 2 quid, and that I cropped the second I got home, and that I have been living in, for the matter of fact. And I don't know what it is. This has been my attempt to feel youthful and on trend, but I love the fabric and it's super nice, and I don't have a lot of clothes that has a hood, and that has been perfect for editing days where I've just been like, let's continue another classic old goodie on this channel is this jumper. This is a half cotton, half wool jumper that I found in a thrift store some time ago. I can't even remember when, but I have been wearing this non-stop because it's a good, nice and warm material, which I appreciate, and it has a turtleneck. This is something, it's not cropped per se, but it is rather short, so I can wear it with a lot of my cropped things, a lot of my high-waisted things, and it's one of my favorite things in the world. And I don't want to wash it too often because I know that wool does not necessarily respond well to being washed all the time, and I don't want it to shrink. So whenever it's not dirty, when it's just smelly, I put it in my freezer instead because it kills the smell. This is a very old thing. It's not necessarily something that I wear often, but I'm so glad I have it. It's back from my fashion week days. It's pre-zero waist. It's such a long time ago. It is this long gray high-waisted skirt, and I had a couple of years where I could not fit into it, where I was too big for it, and all of a sudden I could fit into it again, and I didn't know when that happened. I know exactly when it happened, but I didn't think about the fact that I could fit into this again, and I was so excited. And I love wearing this with, for instance, like the Thrasher hoodie or something, to clash the elegance with something that's a little bit more edgy, a little bit more casual. Love that combo. I usually wear this with my Doc Martens as well. And this is just, I love this to bits. It's so, so cool. And it's a very long skirt, and it's not a cut that you see in a lot of modern high street fast fashion shops at all. So I love that this is something that stands out a little bit. It's a little bit out of the ordinary. I love it to bits. I say that a lot, don't I? I love it to bits. It's just one of those sentences that just, it always comes out of my mouth. I'll try to say something else just for a sort of linguistic variety for you guys. I'll try. Then I have a thing that I found in Berlin, because Berlin has a lot of great vintage shops, you guys, like great, and also not very expensive. I got this for €4. It is a vintage, I am assuming 90s or 80s, pin needle striped blazer that is also rather short and that has huge, huge shoulder pads. I'm there for it. And I love this so much. Look at me, I'm trying. Like these pearly buttons, which are not vegan either, which is not necessarily something I've ever thought about, but I don't give it too much thought when it's thrifted either way, because you don't support the industry. I've given you this speech before, but I love this to bits. I've been... Wow! The last thing. You guys have been asking me a lot whenever I wear this, where it's from, and I honestly think someone made this themselves and then donated it at some point, because it does not look like something you would make at a factory or something. It looks super homemade, and there's no tag or like washing like guide or anything. There's nothing in here. So it is of course the big knitted jumper. This is an amazing find. I think this was a little bit more expensive because the volunteers in many of the thrift shops in Denmark are usually older people, and they are really bad, or like really good at putting prices on newer, trendier things, because they don't know what is on trend. So you can find something that's really, really cheap, that's really in style right now, super, super cheap. But a lot of like the good quality stuff, they know, they definitely know. So I think I paid 9 or 10 quid for this, because they know that this is like a good jumper. Honestly, I don't have a problem paying 9 or 10 quid for a jumper in a charity shop, because the money is going somewhere nice. And if I had to buy this in a high street shop, I would honestly have to spend maybe 4 times that amount at least. I don't know the prices in new shops anymore. Like whenever I walk into a high street shop for some reason or other, I'm always super confused by the pricing. I was in one of these shops with my mom not very long ago, and the prices are insane. Even for really, really cheap clothing, prices are insane. And in my head, because I've been shopping in thrift shops for so long, I see a normal t-shirt, just white plain tee, half a quid, 1 quid, okay, 2, but not a lot more than that. 30, 40, what is that? I don't know, and it's not even ethically made. Like I really want to pay the price for good, sustainably and ethically made clothing, because someone has to get paid for that. No problem whatsoever. But when you know that this comes from a sweatshop, what's the point even? It's just a markup to line some CEO's pockets, and I am not there for it. That was all for my top 10 thrift finds in my wardrobe. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you have any other fashion, beauty, styling videos that you want to see, and I'll definitely see what I can do. Once again, thank you so much to our sponsor Anna Luisa for sponsoring this video. I am so stoked about this collab, and go down below, check out the discount code and the different pieces that I have shown you in this video. Take really good care of yourselves until next time, and I will see you. Bye! Thank you so much for watching this video, and also a special thank you to my Patreon supporters. You guys help me create green zero waste content, and I love you guys. You can find the links to my social media accounts down below and the link to my Patreon on this screen. Bye!